Okay, so let's talk about something I think a lot of people listening might relate to, that feeling, where you can understand English perfectly fine, movies, articles, whatever, but then the moment comes to actually speak. It's like your brain just freezes up, hits a wall. If that sounds like you, well, you're definitely not alone. Today we're going to dive into why that happens and, more importantly, what you can actually do about it. Like right now, we're focusing on making real progress, even if you feel like you barely have any time, maybe just 5 minutes a day. We've been looking at some great insights from the English Dose podcast for this one.
Yeah, it's super common, that gap. And I think the first thing to really get is that understanding and speaking, they're different skills. Think about it like muscles, right?
Okay, muscles. Tell me more.
Well, you might have really strong listening muscles because you've done loads of passive listening, taking English in. But your speaking muscles, they need their own workout. They don't just get strong automatically.
Right, okay. That makes sense. So why are those speaking muscles often lagging behind, even when the understanding feels solid?
Well, a big one is just plain lack of active practice. The English Dose podcast really points this out. You can be swimming in English, hearing it all day. But if you're not actually, trying to make your own sentences out loud, that speaking part just doesn't develop in the same way.
Yeah, it's like watching endless cooking shows, but never actually trying to cook the dish yourself.
Right, exactly. Perfect analogy.
And the podcast also mentions something else, something I think hits home for many, that fear of stuffing up.
Oh, absolutely. That fear of making mistakes, of being judged, it's a huge barrier. You could know all the grammar rules, have the vocabulary.
You just clam up.
Yeah. The worry about not sounding perfect or saying the wrong thing, it just stops you from even trying sometimes.
And what about that internal translator? That little voice translating everything back from your native language first.
Right. That's another big factor. You understand the English coming in, but then when you want to respond, your brain sort of defaults to thinking in your first language and then translating.
Which takes time and feels clunky.
It does. It adds that hesitation, that pause, and all of this stuff together, the lack of practice, the fear, the translation, it just chips away at your confidence right when you need it most.
Okay, so we get the why. The reasons make sense. Now let's talk solutions. What does the English Dose podcast suggest we can do, like quick fixes we can start today? Especially thinking about that 5-minute window we mentioned.
Okay, so one really practical thing is just speaking out loud, even if you're totally alone. And shadowing is great for this.
Shadowing? Explain that a bit.
Sure. It's basically where you listen to some English, maybe a podcast clip, a bit of a TV show, and you repeat what you hear, trying to copy the rhythm, the sounds, the intonation.
Like mimicking. Okay.
Exactly. It gets your mouth used to forming the sounds and helps you internalize the flow of spoken English. Doesn't take long either.
And they really stressed consistency, didn't they? Even just 5 minutes, but every day. What could someone actually do in just 5 minutes?
Loads, actually. Talking to yourself is surprisingly effective. Just describe what you're doing, what you see around you. Maybe talk through your plans for the day out loud in English.
Nobody needs to hear it but you.
Precisely. Or read something aloud for 5 minutes, a news article, a page from a book. Again, it's about activating those speaking muscles consistently.
And releasing the pressure for perfection. That was another key takeaway, really.
Oh, massively important. Look, even native speakers make slips all the time. We restart sentences.
Yeah, sure.
The goal isn't flawless grammar from day one. It's clear communication. Can the other person understand your idea? That's the win, especially early on.
So don't get hung up on tiny mistakes. Just get the message across.
Exactly. And related to that is using simple language, meaning use the English you already know. Don't feel pressured to find some super complex word or fancy sentence structure. Just use the vocabulary you have, but use it actively.
Got it. Build fluency with the basics first.
Right. Repetition of simpler patterns builds that foundation and, crucially, builds your confidence. It's about unlocking the knowledge you actually already possess from all that listening.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the main idea here, drawing from the English Dose podcast, seems to be your understanding. That's your strong foundation. Don't discount it.
Absolutely.
But speaking requires actively using that foundation. It's about practice, consistency, even if it's just tiny amounts, like that muscle analogy you use.
It really is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, even gently, the stronger it gets.
Which maybe leads to a final thought for you listening. What's one really small step you could take, like today, to flex that speaking muscle?
Maybe just look around right now. Pick one object. Can you describe it in English? Just one sentence out loud. That tiny action. That's the start of building momentum.